Hello and welcome to the Woodstock Lab. The first thing you need to do is gather all your materials. As you can see, I have my Petri dish. You can use a small bowl or a saucer at home. I also have milk, food color. The dump beaker is simply so I have something to dump my materials into later on. I've got my dish soap. You could probably just use the bottle and just make sure you only use the one drop that's necessary. I also have paper towels and a toothpick here with me. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this lab. The first thing that you're going to want to do, according to the directions, get myself situated so that I can do this hands-free, is you're going to want to fill your Petri dish about half full with milk. For those of you at home, go about a quarter of an inch deep is more than enough total milk. Next thing you're going to want to do is put a one drop of each of the food colorings in the corners of the dish. And I know a round dish doesn't really have a corner. Just don't hit the edge and don't put it in the middle. That pretty much works. So there's my blue. And they don't have to be equally spaced. I'll intentionally not equally space them just for the sake of it. There's my red. And next I'll do my green. Those of you working from home and watching this video as your actual lab should pause the video and make one observation of what you see. Okay, because the next thing that's going to happen is I'm going to do the rest of the lab, and you need to get at least 10 observations once the soap hits. When the soap hits, something's going to happen immediately, so you need to start taking notes the moment it happens and continue doing so for at least 4 full minutes. So I'll keep an eye on my time. Hey, and at the 4-minute mark, I will move on to the final step and then cleaning up. So one drop. Wow, that always blows my mind. Hey, so start taking notes and collecting lab data for the next 4 minutes of observations. We're now 1 minute into the lab. We're now 2 minutes into the lab. I love how the surface of the colors are starting to change and swirl. You can see new things blooming all the time. These changes over here. Have we discussed this streaking right here? This is 3 minutes worth of observations. You should have 5 or 6 observations done. Full sentences. Didn't the soap start up here? Is there an observation to be made there? What do we see happening right here? More white coming out. That's 4 minutes right there. You should have all 10 complete sentence observations, super highly detailed. They should not be just general terms. They should be super highly detailed about the shapes that we're seeing, about all of the different movements and everything like that. If not, I'm going to give you 1 more minute to make sure that your observations are super clear and super specific. Don't forget, remember, you also, in addition to 10 observations, need to have 3 patterns discussed down at the bottom of the page. And you should be asking 3 level 3 Costas questions. Those are off the page questions, so the information should start with something you observed here, but require more research to get an actual answer. If you don't have your 10 observations yet, I'm going to give you 1 more. Watch what I'm going to do with my toothpick. I'm going to give it a little bit of a flick as I strike the water. It's not just tap and I'm not stirring it, but I'm going to give it a little bit of a flick. Try it from a different angle here. Those little beads are called anti-bubbles. Anti-bubbles. A bubble is filled with air, an anti-bubble is filled with fluid, and that's the simplest way to term it. But it also is separated from the rest of the fluid by a pocket or a film of air that keeps it from, or keeps it sitting on top of the rest of the fluid. Now, if you've got all 10 of your observations and you've made all of your questions and your patterns statements, you can do a cleanup. And cleanup basically involves this dump beaker right here. It's the easiest way to do it unless you're literally doing this right next to the sink. And I'm just going to pour this directly in the beaker, and then I'm going to give everything a good rinse out and dry. Make sure you finish the rest of the lab and do the left side requirements. Thank you.